I love it when Pretzel just chooses this really weird yet epic music as an intro. I have no idea why it decided that was a good song as an intro, but that's the intro, okay? They have an intro entirely in Latin. Let's, oh, I've put that in front of the stream deck. Oops. Let's get into game. Hello! We're on Lonoke. Whoa. Yesterday Landy was testing out screenshot mode in his game. And I, during his stream, tested out in mine. I just want to show you what happens when I use screenshot mode in Creator Tools real quick. Because it gets a bit bright. And by a bit bright, I mean just like unbearably bright. It's almost painful. Like that, it looks horrible. That's much better, I think. Yeah, screenshots mode, not a fan of shaders as it turns out. Or shaders not a fan of screenshots mode, one of the two. So we're in field 34 here. Oh good. I thought that. Nearest waypoint, please don't do the headlands. You're not gonna do the headlands, but you're also not gonna... Oh, because it's called to plow and it's moody. Stop, 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 stop. Hello, CD. Dusty Dave, Bucko. Killzone Killer Kelly. Let's lower that. Lower that. And let's... Why is the door open? What's the door button? Alt. Okay, drive from the nearest waypoint. You should behave now. There you go. So that's seeded. Yeah, that's seeded. This is clearly not. Let's do some seeding. Actually, no, let's not, because we'll chop strawberry standard in FS19. Not from what I've heard. Let's not, because I want to drive this thing around a bit. Missed me? I've missed streaming. I actually hate when I've got to take these little breaks. Except Sunday. Sunday I didn't mind. Because Sunday I went go-karting and it was wet. And I had, oh my god, so much fun. Go-karts at the max speed of like 75 kilometers an hour. And I maxed mine out at 40. Where's the sheet gone? Yes, I have a time sheet. I maxed mine out at 47.9 and average 44.4 as top speed. She not need sleep today. She's actually gone. She's not in the house. She's being brought up to County Offaly today. You had a seasons question nobody'd ask. Could you not ask like VF or somebody? Somebody else who plays with seasons a lot. Where's my coffee gone? My wheel's doing the thing where it's not actually calibrated correctly, so I'm gonna need to stop up in a second. So what I was doing last night, did I go to Rose Green? Rose Green karting has been closed for years, Daniel. Unless they've reopened it and got all the correct licenses, they haven't been able to do karting for years there. I went to Autograss Hill. Which is a much more... honestly, I think it's a much more fun karting track anyway. It looks more interesting. Because it's a lot higher speed. And what I've been doing the last couple of nights, because you guys know how to play iRacing a lot, I've actually been in... I've been in top split for the Skip Barbers, which is the fastest of the fast guys. I haven't come across a real world driver yet, but I have raced against a pro, an iRacing professional, which they are the top tier. The car company Wexford had their carts seized. Ooh, not good. You wouldn't like to be a passenger with me? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm actually, like, outside of FarmSim, quite a good driver. And it's just in FarmSim, for whatever reason, I guess it might be the physics that they're a bit weird, maybe, I don't know. But for whatever reason in FarmSim I suck at driving. Let's get that down to ×1, let's sell that. And while we're just stopped here, I'm going to just really quickly get Logic Profiler open and Global Device Settings open and closed. And now my wheel will work as I want it. There we go. It's been improved since, well, yeah, because it was barely functional in the mod contest, to be fair. Because we're going to get, I need to bring a tractor up here at some point. I'll reset it. We're going to get a new piece of equipment today, and that is the big Mega Mammoth. Yeah, I'm copying Landy this time, after he copied me with the number of cows he wants. Kidding, of course. Don't actually think I'm serious about that. And that's because 100 cows actually do need quite a lot of feed. Where's, like, a tractor that's not being used? You're not powerful enough. You're in use. You need to, like, get going again. Because I need the silage loaded. Very handy if you loaded the silage, please. Ropa. Come on, be nice to me, please. There you go. You will do for this. Barely functional as being kind. Yeah, there were a lot of flaws with that map. Need the parking. I don't mind tapping through the roof tractors, to be honest. I find it's kind of funny. Good evening, Fred. How are you doing today? So I already worked out the best mix for this. Where's my telehandler gone? There it is. Don't need the single bale fork, so you can just be dropped there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab 4 straw bales. I think it's 4. It might be. It's 64,000. Half and half would be 32 and 32. Each hay bale is 4, so it's 8 hay bales I'm gonna need to grab. So we're gonna go up here to the top pile. It's a bit easier to grab more from here. So, oh fantastic, that's the first 4. This is half of our bale requirements immediately. Can you join the game? Nah, it's not MP, dude. Hey, Shadowbox. Brilliant. So that's, yeah, half, or a quarter full, but halfway there. I'm gonna pop out the bale forks now. I'm just gonna grab 4 random bales from around here as well. Putting the sheet there is annoying because it's just Why did that? Huh. That was on my end. Yeah, that was on my end. Am I gonna have to like keep track of that now? That's gonna get really annoying if I've got to keep track of that. I might have to reset my router again. Even though I just reset it there a day or two ago. Oh, it's doing the thing again. Let's release the bales. We're back. We should be back. It shouldn't have gone offline again. If it does do that again, I'll swap YouTube servers. And see if that fixes it. Because that's a slightly easier fix than having to reset my router. So we're 37%. The refresher if it's still showing offline. Yes, it's useful me saying that. I'm EA. Is this a modded Manitou? Nope. Bog standard. This is the bog standard in-game Manitou. I know Landy's established the case wheel loader I use isn't as good as like the JCB or the come to think of it. You are going back to the main yard now, sir. You can be reset to there. Because I'm going to need a butt ton of silage and it's a lot easier to load with this than it is with anything else, basically. I know Landy's established that the in-game wheel loaders are much more stable than the case that I'm using, but I quite like using the case, so I'm going to keep using the case. I think it looks nice and it's different. So I don't mind it being a bit more wibbly and wobbly than the in-game stuff. Hello, mighty machines. Plus I might edit this case to have the correct center of gravity. I do need to turn on the mixer so that it'll mix into TMR as quickly as it can. So I like using John Deere on this map. And John Deere's just look right on this map, honestly. Like, there's no particular reason I'm using them other than I wanted an excuse to use John Deere's. And conveniently, all the good John Deere mods I've found are quite large, so it kind of all fits together nicely. I'm not saying there's no good John Deere mods out there that are small, I'm just saying the majority of the ones that I found that are really good, that I know about, are quite large. John Deere wheel loader. I know there's one out there, but it didn't look too good in the pictures. And I tend to go off the pictures. So that should be TMR soon. That should be a mix that'll get TMR, but I just want to get the last 4% in. Hello, Eric. So we're 96.8% full on the Pecan Mega Mammoth. Just want to get the last... Yeah, that is TMR now. But we're going to throw in the last 4% here and just make sure. Some are only available on sketchy sites. I say sketchy like Mod Hoster. Some are on the Mod Hub. I don't think there's any on FSUK, and a few are off Facebook. A lot of YouTubers using all John Deere's. I'm not using all John Deere's. That's the thing, is like I'm using John Deere's on this map, but if you tune in tomorrow and watch the Insanity Challenge, you'll see that I'm using 0 John Deere's. I don't like just having the one brand. Am I looking forward to Bessie Beneath? Yeah, I actually am. I know Dave can do some fantastic work, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that map turns out. I'm hoping well, for kind of his sake. I always hope map turns out well. Like, there's so many maps that come out that I always hope they do well, just so that the map maker can get some form of recognition for them. And I will be playing most likely Basic Beneath. And I just want to confirm to you guys before anything, before there's any real announcements about it, I will be playing Shamrock Valley. Before anybody asks, yes, that is a map that I will 1000% be playing. It's one of the very few Irish maps that have actually managed to get me excited about them. And I've told Oxygen David that myself. It's like, I don't get excited about Irish maps. But yeah, I'm excited about Shamrock because it just looks good. It just looks so good. And I'm really excited to get my hands on it. Shamrock Valley gonna replace Insanity? Yes, that's actually the plan. When's Shamrock coming? I don't know. Hopefully soon. That's one of the maps where I say the sooner the better because I get to be less insane waiting. Oh, this is struggling. You don't need that mixing anymore, at least. Where's Shamrock base? Wherever you want, Keen. So this is almost definitely gonna like fill the cows up with TMR. I hope. Like that's quite a lot of food they require. That's just for 100. I know Landy had like 200,000 liters of water ready for 1,000 in his map, but yeah, he changed his mind fairly quickly. Shamrock looks like Sandy Bay. That's kind of the intention. I've been talking to Oxy about it, and he said, yeah, he's kind of going for a new version of Sandy Bay, but Irish. Yeah, that's gonna do at least. It's not gonna fill the cows completely, but it's gonna do. I wouldn't want to do like 100 cows in 100 cows in seasons would be fun because you would just constantly be feeding them. Hello, Brad. Nathaniel. Ah! This might be a problem. Can I get out of here? Oh, can I get out of here? Is that... Right, let's use the emergency second door. 100 cows in seasons is actually easier. Well, it's easier in the summer, but during the winter I can imagine it's literally just feeding cows all the time. Come on. You know you want to leave this place. Oh my god. Is this feed mixer too big for the map? Hey! Why would it be easier in summer? Because animals take less food in the summer in seasons. Animal feed is directly proportional to like what time of year it is. Hello, TNT. Right, let's get... No, the fueling point is up. That always confuses me, the anhydrous tank. That always confuses me, because the fueling point is actually here. What else can be done? What else can be done? What else can be done? Beacon is the Dutch company, TJC. Failed attempt to put grazing mod on Lone Oak. I need to try and put it on the West Coast. I still haven't done that. That's something I need to do tonight. How am I? I'm doing good. I am doing very good indeed. I've just finished my coffee. There we go. That's a propane tank. Oh, okay, I thought it was anhydrous. So, as you can see, our driver here is using Jedi mind tricks to steer the tractor. The very rare force-powered tractor. It's 500 horsepower, not horsepower. Actually, what is this? 7310. This is probably like 310, isn't it? Yeah, it would be 310. It's 310 horsepower. Hello, Simulate, how are you doing today? Oh! Something that was confirmed in Giant's Discord today. Actually, two things. Number one was the minimum... Oh, that was a fake Simulate, yes. Thank you, Yanis. Oh. Could you PM me that link, please, Yanis? That was a fake Simulate, and yeah, you're gonna have fun, dude. PM me that link, I'll send it on to Sim. Or PM it to Chris or somebody. Pass it on. Top Gear top tip for you guys, don't try and impersonate people who are noteworthy, because odds are they're probably mods. That was your email account. Sim, you idiot! Well, Yanis, you got it first now, you got to ban the actual Simulate. That's a new one. Going back to what I was saying before Simulate managed to get himself banned. Two things were confirmed in Giant's Discord today. Number one was the minimum system requirements, which I can't remember off the top of my head. And number two, and this is much more interesting, one of the pre-order bonuses, I believe, for console is a Mahindra. So, Mahindra confirmed, question mark? It's a Mahindra UTV, which Giants are going really heavily into like the all-terrain stuff and kind of runabouts and the UTVs and quads for 19, it seems, which is really nice. Mahindra, yes, they make very interesting lawn tractors and stuff. And UTVs and ATVs and stuff. Hello, SFDM, by the way. PC get the Gator. And it seems like console or maybe all editions get the Mahindra. Mahindra isn't Indian, believe it or not, Sim. It's American. But it's if they're perhaps into Kubota talk. No, I think as much as it irritated Giants that the Kubota thing happened, and that somebody decided to jump on that big time and annoy the crap out of them, I think Kubota, I really think Kubota have a place in the game. They might not be in the game, but I think there's a place in there for Kubota stuff, towards the smaller end of tractors and maybe like mini X's and stuff like that, and maybe skid steers and stuff. But Kubota stuff, you know, the smaller end of the spectrum. I feel like Kubota have a place in the game, much like Mahindra do, also at the smaller end of things. That was him, Chris. So that's one of the rare moments where I actually speak seriously about something. And yeah, honestly, I'd love to see Kubota and Mahindra side by side in the game. I'd like to see... I said this in one of the Landy streams, but one of the DLCs I'd love to see in FS19 is not one single brand. I'd love to see a DLC of like... I'm trying to think now. Mikhail, Kane, you know, small brands, just a bunch of small brands just coming out all at once. With maybe one or two pieces of equipment from each, but, you know, not enough. None of the brands really that are really small that I'd like to see in the game have enough equipment that it would be worthwhile to have a DLC by themselves. So like Mikhail, Abby, maybe Major, I guess to a certain extent Kane, but I don't see much hype behind Kane trailers anymore. That was more of an FS13-15 thing. Although I have seen Kane trailers in the wild. Crone had a team in the FS Championships. Big M confirmed, question mark. Seriously, I want the Big M420 back. I want the Big M420 in game. Yeah, I've spoken to Sim and VF about what they actually know from FarmCon, and there's no exclusive information there. There's nothing exclusive. They know every bit as much as has been announced publicly. Oh, Mahindra is Indian. I know they make one of their main businesses that is kind of well known is the UTVs for the American market. But yeah, I didn't realize they were actually Indian. Hello, Guitar King. It has been a while indeed. What difference will Gearbox make? From what Sim's been telling me, it was actually in the FarmCon demo that was shown off to people. Like the gearbox that they currently have implemented. And it's basically shuttle mode. That's all it is currently. What's a UTV? Quad bike. Bucko. They're called UTVs in America for some reason. Maybe because quadricycle bicycle makes no sense. Which, you know, I can kind of get behind that. I don't know what the U stands for, like... Utility terrain vehicle? UTV is an off-road it's a quad bike with a roll cage. Quad is an ATV, UTV is a gator. So UTV is a utility transport vehicle, and ATV is all-terrain vehicle. Okay. ATV or four-wheeler. We call them quads because they're quadricycles. And usually quad bikes, which is quadricycle bicycle, which makes no sense, but hey, English language. Technically, yes, Bucko, a golf cart is a UTV. I've never thought about that before. A golf cart is a UTV if you're going by that definition of something is like a four-wheel vehicle with a roll cage. Utility terrain vehicle. What's utility terrain? JCB would be another. I wonder if giants are kind of pure speculation, but judging by the 150s that you saw them taking sounds for, and solely by that, I wonder if giants are kind of reacting to Matt's DLC by putting one of the vehicles in game by default. Because I don't think giants expected the DLC to do so well, or as well as it has anyway. Because even like the publicity stuff that they sent out was like, this isn't made by us, it's not the usual quality and all this, and it just sold like hotcakes. It just, that DLC just sold like absolute hotcakes because it was equipment that people wanted. Because it was made by a modder, it was equipment that people were looking for and wanting, and you know, there was that appeal to it. I am going to start using the wheel now, by the way, because I've realised I've just been using mouse and keyboard. Unless, as FTN, the issue wasn't with JCB, or the issues with maybe the load-all, because they do have newer models of the load-all. Now, I would like to see them go back to an FS13 style of equipment where there's a bit more of the old stuff and a bit more of a mix, because, and I've been saying this the whole time, even with John Deere, like, I don't particularly care what brands are in the game, I don't care about a lot of those stuff, I just want variety. Like, give me variety. If there's like 17 different John Deeres and 3 New Hollands, well, I'll be annoyed because there's not enough New Hollands. If there's 73 different New Hollands and 2 John Deeres, I'll be annoyed because there's not enough John Deeres. I want to see a good variety from every brand that's in the game, especially the major ones, because then you can pick and choose. You know, I want a 200 horsepower tractor, and go through all the 200 horsepower tractors and pick the one that you want, instead of saying, I want a 200 horsepower tractor, well, this is the only one I can use. I want that variety to be in the game at like every level with like every brand. I know it's probably never gonna happen, but it's a nice little pipe dream of mine. I'm missing a lot and it's really unsatisfying. I'm going back to fix the bit that I missed, TNT, don't worry. 10 of each. I'd like to see, like, ideal world, I'd like to see every vehicle that they make. Every single item that every brand makes in-game. In an ideal world. That's never going to happen, but I'd love to see it. More on the 160 band. I don't know, because there's not much equipment in the 160 band. That's the problem. That's kind of the problem with the 160 horsepower tractors, is like FarmSim has historically been very limited in that power band for equipment. They tend to be a bit more. There tends to be a bit more variety towards the higher end of the scale, equipment-wise, and definitely now that Big Bud's in the game. Once you get up to 400 or 500 horsepower tractors, you've got so much variety of stuff to choose from. But you go down the range a bit, you go down to say 160, which is going to be my example, because that's what Bucko asked for. And let's have a look at the default in-game stuff. So no mods, so none of this stuff over here. No DLC. So 160, you can run this, you can run this, you can run this, you can run this, you can run this. You can't run the 6-meter seeder, which in reality you probably could. You can't run this. You can run this, but only just. And then you're suddenly up to 170, 180, 200 horsepower. And then into DLCs. And that's just with seeders. With cultivators even more limited, you can run this, and just this 4-meter cultivator, but not this 4.8, not the 6-meter, not any of this. you know, you're really limited once if you want 160 horsepower. You want 160 horsepower, you can run this plow only just. You can't run the K-Run. You can run all the seed, all the sprayers and fertilizers stuff. Let's have a look at manure sprayers. What can run 160? That'll run, but only just, and then you're out of power for the biggest one. Slurry tanks. This'll run, but only just, and this won't. So you got a choice of 2 slurry tanks. You know, 160 horsepower, you're very limited with equipment. And that I think is a bit of a weakness in the variety in Farmerson. 160 chip tuned is like a thing that happens in real life. Yes, Stephen. But I'm going off just the in-game horsepowers, and if you want more 160 in-game, yeah, you're not going to be able to run much. You're going to be very limited with the equipment you can actually run. And the reason that I excluded all the mods was because basically on day 1 you're not going to have mods. You're not going to have DLCs. You're going to have whatever giants throw at you on day 1. And that's usually not a lot for 160 horsepower tractors. It's enough to get you going, sure, but it's not a lot. You know, it's not going to get you to the scale that in real life 160 horsepower tractors can do. Like Falco said, giants are a bit, I don't want to say hard, but I want to say a bit kind of weird at times with how horsepower requirements are. Yeah, that's what I've heard as FTN, is like 20-25 horsepower per furrow. And like I've seen something as small as 135 pulling 3 furrows. So, you know, you can kind of... There's an argument to be made either way, but just looking at the in-game numbers, they're not good for 160 horsepower tractors. You want to be going around 200, 250 to be getting a good variety of equipment possible. And even then, like, some of the smaller stuff will be too small for the tractor, and people, like... This isn't something you guys have to deal with, but something I have to deal with is, like, if I use something really small on a really high-powered tractor, people will start complaining that, oh, that's too small for the tractor. To which my response is, nothing's ever too small for a tractor. You can detune everything to suit whatever you want to do. You can turn down the PTO to have less horsepower. In more modern tractors, you can do it via the computer. High torque, low horsepower. Yeah, I mean, that'd be kind of cool. I know that in real life, fast tracks are actually quite low torque, but they are high speed. Overkill's underrated. Yeah. But that's kind of the way that... I don't know, am I looking at things wrong? Is, like, my outlook there wrong? Because I know there's always going to be people who just complain no matter what, but I feel like, you know, in real life you can pull whatever you want with a tractor. And while Farmerson does kind of bodge horsepowers at times, the 160 band, which is in Ireland at least, 160 to 200 is kind of the most popular band for farmers to own. Contractors will usually get like 250-ish horsepower tractors. It's very underrepresented in Farmerson. Especially in terms of like variety of equipment, because I will openly admit I know what Giants are going for with the equipment. They want to have like one of every size, but I prefer to see, you know, more 3-meter stuff, more 6-meter stuff instead of just seeing like 1-seater. I'd like to see, you know, 3, 4, 5 different seaters at 6 meters. Like, granted, they'll do probably the exact same thing, but just in terms of like something else you can use, that'd be amazing. Is chat dead? It would seem so, Adam. It seems like it's a bit of a quiet day for chat. We are almost finished seeding this. Not heard much about Deutz. Deutz will be in the game, Stephen. Deutz, I think they've got a really long-term contract, if not an infinite one with FarmSim, so Deutz will be in the game. Yeah, that's one thing FarmSim really excels on, is like there's a fantastic selection of trailers for like dumping, but I don't know. Can you store sugar beets outside? Yes, I believe so. I wouldn't, but you could. It's probably better to store them in a shed, because in real life they'd probably be stored in a shed so they don't rot. Jerry 6430. Could you like send me a link after the stream, CD? Or SFTN? Because now I'm interested. If you're recommending a channel, that means it might well be very interesting and very informative. So yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to have a look through that. And I'm gonna forget the name by the end of the stream, so it's probably better to just PM me a link somewhere. FarmSim has a lot of cultivators. Yes, but they're all different sizes. And good Irish farm. Ooh, Irish. Yeah, now I'm definitely interested. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get course play on this on field 34, and we're gonna do some looks to be new. Oh, sweet. I'll check them out later tonight then. Might give me some ideas for stuff. Can you send me a link to a Mahindra? You can, but the odds are I probably wouldn't use it because most mods I've come across of like smaller brands are not very good, annoyingly, and it's really annoying. But thanks for my DMs. Sweet, thank you. Wait, my DMs where? Because there's like 17 different websites that have DMs. Tom Pemberton or Pemberton. The thing is, I don't follow many farming channels because I'm like on a motorsports binge at the moment. And I should say this, there's a very real chance that at some point I will race against like Landon in Discord. Thank you. There's a very real chance that at some point this week I might race against Lando Norris, who in real life is a Formula 2 driver and potentially coming to Formula 1 next year. Or Rubens Barrichello, who used to drive in Formula 1 for Ferrari. You know why I say iRacing like attracts, or some people say iRacing attracts real world drivers. Yeah, I may also end up racing against Nicky Team, who is a real world racing driver. And I know he does do the skippies from time to time. How is that in... That should not be in that playlist. Wow. Recently became a marshal in Mandela. Oh, I'd love to do that. I'd love to be a marshal somewhere. There's too many Sims here. We're gonna need like half the Sims to change their name to Som, and the other half to change their name to Sum, and then we'll know who people are trying to talk about. Yeah, the John Deere memes are flipping now to John Deere was actually a joke. I love it when there's like so many people with the same name in chat, because it just becomes really confusing. Just have barcodes for Sims. This isn't StarCraft and they're not Korean, Adam. Simulation for the nation. Hello, Bill. How you doing today, dude? So what is this on John Deere's not an FS19? I heard that John Deere wasn't actually supposed to be announced at E3. I heard that FarmCon was actually supposed to happen before E3 this year. And that the John Deere reveal was supposed to be like at the end of one of the days. They do this big talk in FS19, big long drawn out thing. And at the end, because they have this big box art of the game with a big blank hole in it. At the end of the talk, they would have said, and now for our big announcement, as a John Deere drove through the box art, and that would have been so cool. Oh, hello, spider. Doing a bit poop emoji today. Is it because it's Wednesday? You got the Wednesday blues. Field work, field 34. 10 meters. Current vehicle position. 5 headlands after the fact. Smooth please. Circle bypass. Generate course. It's Thursday. Yes, it is Thursday. Of course it's Thursday. Why would it be Wednesday? Guys, I have no idea what day it is. Any given day. Wednesday blues, but on a Thursday. Maybe you're not feeling too great because you think it's Wednesday, but it's actually Thursday. Fake Wednesday blues are the worst Wednesday blues. Dang it. Go from the first waypoint, please. Drive course. Why are you not doing anything? Wrong tool for this mode. Oh, oops. This isn't the quality plow. No, I need to like no, this is actually grain seeding. You go up to field 34, into there, and why can I not delete that course? Just happened to this and delete the course. There we go. So, how did this happen? So, how have you done this? No, Noara mouse, please. I'm using next level tactics to free this. Including turning in the wrong direction, apparently. Seriously, how did it, like, climb the silo? Yeah, mapping it, yeah. With all the changes Giants are making, mapping is going to be a fresh hell to learn for FS 19. It was already difficult enough to learn GE for mapping. It's Giants have just made it that bit more hard going into 19. It's good for the players because it's gonna mean a bigger variety of maps. But like for mod makers and in general, things have just been made so much more complicated and so much more difficult that it's gonna be a while before we see the first mods for 19. That's, yeah, definitely the bigger issues. Like, the community is just... Not all of it, but certain elements are just stupid toxic. They just have no respect for anybody other than themselves. And they're only going to get worse in 19, unfortunately, and it's just going to be... There's going to be a lot of modders quitting just from the community being dolts about stuff, unfortunately. Especially with, you know, making a mod being just that bit more difficult than it already is. I mean, the upside of modding being just that bit more difficult is it also makes converting stuff just that bit more difficult. Hey, Oxy! Well, that's the thing, is like the time investment put into modding, and only people who have tried modding or do modding can know. Why is that? Oh, because it's actually hitting the wall. Only people who do modding or have done modding or have at least tried modding know the just insane time investment that goes into it. And unfortunately, some players just don't know and don't respect it. And that sucks. That's why there are so few new modders coming through. Because they bring out one map it's, you know, not great, but good for a first attempt, and they get hate for it. Hey, Nathan as well. I wish things were different in the community. We're like more knowledgeable about modding. Impossible dreams, but it would definitely stop a lot of the problems that happen. It definitely increased the amount of respect going around for you guys. That like spend days, entire days worth of your lives working on a map, only to have somebody complain because there's a teeny tiny glitch. You know that wouldn't work, Bill. I think the better idea is to try and educate. Because I genuinely think it's just lack of knowledge that's causing so many of the problems. Like, if people were more knowledgeable about modding, I think a lot of the problems that are currently kind of infesting it, the community as a whole, would just disappear. Because they'd realize that maps take months to make, and mods take months to make, and maybe they'd get into modding. Because it is at times easy. I am very difficult to please, but I don't throw hate at people because I don't like something. I'll try and find things that I think could be improved and say how they could be improved. Maybe if you make a mod, you should keep it private until you reset. What? That tends to be... Oh, you mean not, like, talk about making mods? I think that would make things worse, to be honest. Because some of the better ideas I've seen for mapping and modding have come from the community. And, like, sometimes there's a problem with a map that just doesn't get found unless somebody says it in, like, the comments of a picture or something that this doesn't look right, maybe it should be more like this. And the people who actually offer alternatives tend to be the more useful opinions. Maybe it would. I don't think that would work. Like, as good of an idea in principle as that is, I don't think it would work in practice. Because, yeah, the whining usually just happens after the map's made anyway. Or the mod, or whatever it is. And the way I do things, if I don't like a mod or a map, I don't use it. Or, you know, say how I think it could be better. And that's about it. I can't believe that you don't like this, by the way, Sim. I love this sprayer. Landy and Sim were talking last night. Was it Landy and Sim? Landy and somebody were talking last night about hating this sprayer. I can't believe you guys hate this. This is the most ridiculous fun looking sprayer in the world. I'm trying to find something to do. You don't mind it? Yeah, Landy hates it for whatever reason. He thinks it looks stupid. I think it looks stupid too, but I love it for that very reason. How much is this field? 98,000. No. I think we've run out of things to do. I may have done too much too soon. For the Master of the Horse. I mean, the Master and Horse are nice. I love the people who don't understand seasons, I'll be honest, because some of their complaints are hilarious. That soybean density is something stupid, actually. Wow. But how did you manage to optimize the map with this kind of crop density? Like, I'm not even being funny here, that's insane. It actually makes it more impressive the map is as optimized as it is. And the grass density, for that matter. Should stop modding for other people. I always say, like, mod for yourself, but don't ignore... I don't want to say all feedback. Don't ignore good feedback. If somebody says something that's actually a good idea, take that on board. If somebody just says something completely stupid, yeah, maybe ignore that guy. Like, I'll come up with dumb ideas that I think are funny, but would never work, but... There's some stuff that I come up with from time to time that is actually... maybe not viable now, but might be in the future that I think would be really cool in game. Where did I put the manure spreader? I'm pretty sure I got a manure spreader. If I didn't, I'm gonna start buying greenhouses. Did I buy a manure spreader at some point? Is it in here? That's not a manure spreader. I'm stuck. That's a manure spreader. Okay. We're gonna spread some poop. With the 8R. Did you not keep social media private? That would be a terrible idea. Any harvesting? I don't think there's any harvesting to do, actually. Let me just get the filter onto growth. Zoom out. No, there's no harvesting to be done at the moment. Which is a bit of a shame, really, but I'll just bring it up on the main map here. None of the fields that I actually own are ready to harvest. Field 15 is magically like half ready to harvest, half withered somehow. I think, yeah, what I'll do is I'll go spray manure on field 28 and see how far I can get with the probably close to 100,000 litres of manure. Because I actually do like manure spreading. It's just a tree. It's the tree. It's literally the tree the name's farmed after. Yes! That was good English good. It's literally the only thing the farm's named after. There we go. SimCity do it to my map. That was just never gonna happen. I may restart it for 19. I don't know. There we go. Totally legit manure filling. This may only actually be one trailer load of manure now that I look at how full the trailer is after quite a lot of that is gone. And yeah, the trailer's only like a third full, so yeah, we might not actually have as much manure as I thought. The only modders I'll give grief, I'll be honest, are the people who think they can charge for stuff. Or the people who just try and take the credit for something they haven't made. They're the guys I'll give grief to. Because they, in my eyes, deserve it. Because there's one mod team out there that has got grief directly from giants recently. And they 100% deserve it. Because they think it's fine and within terms of service to charge for like mod edits. Which, no, it's charging for a mod still. So that trailer's half full of manure and we've got about half of the manure left. Oh dear. I vastly underestimated or overestimated how much manure I actually had. It felt like a lot. Now I'm worried about the slurry lagoon. So I was gonna like do some slurry spreading after this. Then I could do digestate spreading. Because I know there's a butt ton of digestated VGA. Season. Do I have the buy manure mod? No. I don't like mods where you can like buy manure and stuff. do need to move this out of the way though, because it is just straight in the way. 100,000 litres of slurry does 1 grass field. Right, how much slurry do I have from the cows? 46,000. So enough to do like half a field. So yeah, I've vastly overestimated how much I can do with what I have. That said, I think have a couple of 100,000 litres of digestate, which... I think I might go over to the BGA, see how much digestate I have, because I would like to, like, slurry up the grass fields. How's Dave today? Dave is good today. Dave is, well, not perfect, but reasonably good. Yeah, that's... I had 1 trailer load of manure. All that manure was like 1 trailer load. Yeah, wow, okay. So let's instead not spread manure, because apparently I vastly overestimated how much I have. Let's also not just drop that on the ground, please. That said, that can kind of stay there because it's near enough to the manure pit anyway. So let's just tab over to the BGA and see how much digestate we actually have here. 292,000 litres. Yeah, that's going to be enough to do both grass fields. So back to the 7R, which is going to be easiest to grab like this. You've never spread digestate? Before somebody complains about, like, in real life you'd never spread digestate, yes you do. In real life, there are farms that, like, get digestate from BGAs and spread it on the fields, because it is a very good fertilizer. It's very nitrogen rich. Gotta go. See you, Yusuf. Digestate's a big thing now. Yeah, it is. There's a lot more farms getting BGAs on site because, number one, it's a way to get rid of basically useless, like, stuff that would otherwise be useless. And number two, it's a way to get effectively free slurry. It's slightly different from slurry, but it works in real life very similar. So it's a viable thing for farms. Especially now that kind of the world is going more towards renewables. Biogas is not the best, but it's renewable. You can make infinite biogas. You know, all you have to do is grow crops, and if you're using the biogas digestate to help grow those crops, well, it's a nice little circular system that you're making. If you are enjoying the stream, by the way, feel free to hit the like button and feel free to subscribe. I'm hoping to get 50 likes today. I don't know if we will. But it'd be really nice to get a good number of likes on the stream today. And we're closing in on 8,500 subscribers, which is insane. That is just stupid numbers in my eyes. I think my aim for this year is 10,000, to hit 10,000 by the end of the year, and I think it might just be doable. Especially if there's a couple of good months up ahead, I think it's doable. It's 25, halfway there. just over halfway through the stream, so 50 is doable. I know you guys are awesome, so it's very, very possible. I've been really neglecting the wheel, I'm sorry. I've been using mouse and keyboard because I kind of keep forgetting that I'm streaming and that the keyboard is super loud through my microphone, so I do apologize for that. I also have, for the days that I get really hot, a actual proper desk fan now. I say proper, it's still USB, but it's much better than the little fartable one I was using. The very rare Dave actually trying to do things correctly method of farming. I do need to pick up the bits of silage, or bits of chaff that just went through everything, but I'll do that later. I've been saying that for like a week now, but I will do it later eventually. So let's get this into the trigger and start filling it while we move the truck over. And we are using mouse and keyboard for this because it's all going to be big turns and I can't be bothered to fling the wheel one side to the other. Am I okay? I'm doing things correctly. I'm fine, Hedgehog. I actually want to start, there we go, grabbing from this side of the BGA now. Stuck in the UK while everyone goes to Canada for the next 2 weeks. That kind of sucks, but at least you don't have to deal with customs and stuff. Like there's always an upside. They all have to deal with customs and stuff later on. You don't. Chat in general has just been slow lately, and that's just a thing that people have to deal with, unfortunately. I don't know why chat's slow lately, because there's a lot of really cool, interesting stuff happening in Farm Sim in general, but yeah, pretty much all the chats have just been slow. Couldn't afford to go. It sucks when you can't afford stuff, but you know, that's kind of a part of life, unfortunately. Gonna go for it, you may be back, maybe not. Okay. See ya, Chuck. I hope Landy got the memo that I am actually streaming at the moment, because I did tell him last night that I'd be able to stream today, but I don't know if he actually remembered. So the reason that I'm going down this side of the BGA, right, or the clamp right now, is just to get it emptied better and maybe less derpy when I'm trying to get the last little bits out. As autosave kicks just there and causes some frame rate lag. $3,000, you could buy a car with that. Yeah, flights, transatlantic flights are not cheap, and that's for the simple reason that transatlantic flights require a lot of fuel. You're basically flying on a plane that, as it takes off, is at its absolute maximum takeoff weight. You can spray weeds in FS19R. That has been confirmed and all of that good stuff. After greasing just over a week's time, we'll be back for harvest, 20 hours a day. Well, isn't harvest like on right now, Stephen? Because the drought has actually caused a lot of crops to ripen early. And the reason, by the way, the crops ripen early when there's a drought, or ripened early this year because of the drought, is basically because they were dying, and their natural kind of inbuilt response is to get the seeds out as quickly as possible, which is, you know, to make sure that the plant lives on, kind of, and that means that they ripen super quickly and super early. Which is why there's already harvest ongoing this year. And a lot of farmers, like, the grass has been just stopped growing and stuff like that for a little while, so a lot of farmers on silage use already, and that's not good. Especially if there's a hard winter again this year, it's going to mean there's going to be a lot of farmers that are running into feed problems. And there's possibly possibly in like early 2019 you'll see a lot of farms just running out of feed and feed banks having to open. A lot went to whole crop, yeah. The harvest started a month and a half early this year, and that's not good for farmers. And I know there's been farms that have been just selling off animals and sending them off to the slaughterhouse, even though they normally wouldn't, just because they just haven't had the feed for them. I don't know why this tractor's a bit wonky with the where it's showing equipment, by the way, but it is. Straw going pinkish colour due to the heat. Yeah, it's really screwing up farming at the moment. First year you ever remember no second cut. There will be a second cut, but it'll be like stupid late. Second cut might be in late August, and that'll be just as late as it can go. You might even, in a very rare occasion, see people out taking silage in September, October. It's so expensive because of school, you gotta pay for insurance. Yeah, a lot of the money then as well for the ticket would go to fuel. No third cut, that's for sure, yeah. But it'll be a very late second cut this year. Weather has not been good for grass. Livestock farming is problematic. I think it'd be worth it. I mean, if your current computer can run FS17, fine, there's no reason to upgrade. But if it's having problems, then yeah, definitely consider getting an upgrade. Because FS19 is going to be just that... Not much, but a small bit more intensive on your computer. Rain bucketing down. That's not very good if it's bucketing down. We had the ideal rain here last Thursday, or last Sunday, or on Sunday, where it was very light rain, but it was kind of there for the day. So instead of pooling up and causing problems, it was kind of soaking into the ground nicely, and that's the ideal rain that people want right now, is light but persistent rain. The same as last year, and they might be cutting into November again. Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple of very weird years in a row. That's not good for farming. Definitely not good for farming. And like I said, if there's a hard winter again, why did I leave grass on the field? Because this was a hay field and the windrower missed bits, so I couldn't be bothered picking it up with like anything to... I couldn't be bothered making silage out of it, so I just left it. So that's a full tanker of digestate, and we've might just about get a headland done. We're not even gonna get a headland done. Oh, we might. 0 is there. Oh, so close. That's fine. Bonk. Actually, that was a terrible idea. Oh, it's lost collisions now. Have the fields at the back of my estate done yet? They're actually cattle fields at the moment. They're pastures right now. So, they're probably not going to get done this year. Actually, they very rarely get mowed, because they are traditionally pastures. That's where the cows actually are. It's the ones up the road that get mowed, the ones in front of my house. But there will be a lot of farms shutting down this year. It's tough times for farmers in real life, and not very good in general. How much was my PC? You don't want my PC. My PC is overbuilt. Like, insanely overbuilt. When I bought it a couple of years ago, it was €3,500. Or 2,500. It was definitely 4 figures for sure. You haven't eaten. Not eating is a bad idea. Forgetting to eat is a bad idea in general. And I do it myself, so I should know. Farmers never go up. What do I mean overbuilt? I mean I don't need half the specs that I've got. Gearboxes are sound only in FS19. I thought they were toying with the idea of semi-auto. Like as a shuttle mode. So if they... Because Liz said that they were toying with the idea of going semi-auto or even manual instead of just automatic. Which I'd prefer to have like semi-auto as a kind of a shuttle mode. Kind of a selectable shuttle. That'd be nice. My PC was the best PC you could build at the time, without getting like Titans and stuff. Without going way over the top. Why is that truck only 95% full? It should be 100%. Because this wasn't picking up silage, okay. I'm not doubting you, by the way, VF. I'm just trying to get verification that they have abandoned the semi-auto or manual idea. Lizardtan does look like how I used to, doesn't he? And I'd imagine if I ever... Gearbox is in, we're not sure. Yeah, it's... So yeah, it's sound and feel 100%, but as for the exact details, not confirmed yet. Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out, because the way you said it, it sounded like they'd given up on the semi-auto or manual idea. And I kind of like the idea of having shuttle, and it would just like semi-auto would just be shuttle. Having that in the game by default, because I don't like the stop-start braking that is like the current shuttle replacement in Farmsim. I prefer to see full-on like press whatever button to shuttle. Although I don't know how that will work on consoles. I think they might have to go maybe get rid of a feature or something if they wanted a button free on console, or yeah, something I'd have to give for consoles for sure. That'd be the big limitation. I think that's where they're running into problems. Because there was confirmation not too long ago the consoles, all the keybinds are gone. Like what drive control does. I mean, it's basically why I use drive controllers for shuttle. And if FarmSim had that by default, that'd be one less mod I'd need to use. Isn't there a farmer near me? Yes, it's the guy who, I don't know if he, I think he replaced the TX, but yeah, he, comes by the front of my house every year and he gets stuck every year. It's like this little tradition that, he should be coming through fairly soon, actually. The fields are nearly ready. Every year he gets stuck because there's somebody parked awkwardly on the corner down the road. I showed Glengar the fields that he harvests. I'm not going to show that publicly because it is kind of where I live, but Glengar has seen the fields that he harvests, and they're literally like the only arable fields in the area. It's all grass and then like 3 arable fields. Maybe they'll sell button add-on for console. I don't see that happening because they wanted to work on like bog standard, comes with the console straight out the box controllers, so that's where the limitation is with consoles. And that's why a lot of the really cool features that I'd love to see in the game just won't be in the game. They'll have to be modded in because of the console button limitations, annoyingly. And as much as I say, oh, maybe this could be PC only, or maybe that could be PC only, I'd much prefer to see the same version be released PC and console. Because number one, it'd be a lot easier for me and Landy and Sim and VF and pretty much anybody to give support, like give technical support to console players, and like help them figure out the game if they're new to it or something like that. If there's a difference in the game versions, it suddenly becomes harder because you then have to ask, oh, are you on PC or console? So that you know what the mechanic is. And even then I might not know what the console mechanics actually are. So if I lower this, it should start picking up the silage nicely again. Yay! So we're doing a bit of multitasking, I guess. But this is just a good way of wasting time, I get, in between going to the field. Plus it's making more digestate, so it's a useful idea. And money, for that matter. What about tractor doors opening and closing? If that's in, it'll just be an animation linked to entering and exit as linked to entering and exiting tractors. 6 hours in the machine, all in the pit. Yep. That's the entire reason I bought it. It's been in the pit since I bought it. There's like maybe a minute of it me driving across the road from the shop, but that's it. Its entire purpose is emptying the BGA clamps. Because it's in a way faster than a wheel loader and requires less courseplay and less faffery. I know that it looks very faffy, but it's still faster than using a wheel loader or telehandler or something and trying to courseplay it, because I can just move the truck and the ropa individually. What about using a scuff controller? What the hell's a scuff controller? When I talk about console controllers, I mean just bog standard Xbox, PS4 controllers. They're what Giants are going to be using for keybinds for console. Any custom third-party aftermarket controllers, while supported by the console, won't maybe not be directly supported by the game, and any fancy extra buttons they might have just won't be in the game, or you might have to bind up individually or something. I'm not sure how console works anymore. But there won't be any like really fancy cool things on console, unfortunately, just because there's not enough key bindings available. I wish that wasn't the case. I wish like console had keyboards and stuff, but then they'd just be PCs. If console had keybinds, they'd just be pre-built PCs. And I'd be advising people to just get, you know, custom-built PCs or go for certain brands in that case. But I think consoles are, and this is a bit of a controversial opinion at times, I think consoles are reaching the end of their viability as gaming equipment. Because they're coming so close to PC usage and uses that there's gonna come a time where they're basically just PCs and people are just gonna buy PCs instead of consoles. And that's I think not too far off now. I think we're maybe 2 generations of consoles away from them just being PCs. Handhelds, Nintendo just owns that. I don't think Microsoft just don't even want to get into handhelds anymore. But I kind of feel like consoles are at some point going to be a thing of the past. Unless there's some like massive step forward in technology for consoles that isn't possible on PC. A PC is a lot more expensive. Only because it's still kind of a niche market. Like, PC isn't as big of a market as consoles are. That's why PC components are so expensive. They're not made in the same numbers as console components. And consoles will always have a market. I mean, they will, but they won't be consoles as we know them. They'll be PCs with like custom parts. Back in the streams now, awesome model farmer. And welcome back, Asthmatic. Do what give better grass? What? Ibble? You're asking if this gives better grass? It ups the yield because it's fertilizing. And that's what I'm kind of aiming at, is just getting... I don't know why, because this is probably going to go into silage for the BGA, so this might be a circular thing, but it's a huge benefit to pick up and play style consoles. Yeah, but I think consoles are going to go into kind of a more modular state in the future. Not necessarily like gone forever kind of thing, but I can see them becoming more modular and just kind of upgrading bits and pieces. Console companies would lose too much control. What? Microsoft would lose too much control if people started using Microsoft PCs instead. But yeah, I can see Sony fighting tooth and nail against that, and I think maybe the modular thing would be more down Sony's path. I think Microsoft would be fine either way, as long as they get to sell Windows to people and make money out of it. And who knows, if PC gaming was just kind of this sole thing, then Microsoft games might be a bit more active than just producing Forza every year. What did you walk into? I'm kind of talking about where I think consoles are going, and I think they're going into more of a PC state. Not right now, but in the future they're going to go into much more of a PC looking state, and they'll look, feel, and behave a bit more like PCs do currently. Maybe not like big box PCs that you'd know as a computer, but more mini boxes. And I think they're fairly close to that already. Also, there's single specs per game. Yeah. I mean, there's arguments for and against, I think. I think going modular would really open up the market a bit more for console. Why don't consoles use Intel or Nvidia? They do. The PS... Is it the PS4 is running off an Intel chip? And I think... there been an issue with PS4 Plus? I guess so, yeah. And actually, I think they both run off Intel chips and custom built NVIDIA. No, it's PS4 Plus because the Xbox One X S X E Q R P 1. Thought it was all. I think it's Intel they use. Or maybe one uses Intel, one uses AMD. I know they both use PC style. Well, they use PC architecture. They're both x64 now. Which is why you see more games coming to PC and like one or both of the consoles. Which is good for PC players. So it's time to fill up the tanker and empty the truck. I could and maybe should have gone for a bigger slurry tanker, but I felt like this one was okay. At about 30,000 litres. Both use AMD. I thought they used Intel. But they do use the same architecture as PCs now. How will placeable animal? How will that work? I don't know. That's something I'd like to know more about. Especially like for modding. How will that affect modding? Because will the animal areas then have to be like placeables? I'm still selling silage. Well, there was like 1 million litres of silage, Farming Man, so yes. Also, I've been doing other work in between selling silage, so the BGA has time to process the silage down. We're down to just 500,000 litres in the clamp, though, so... I mean, we are making... It's not like there's no progress being made on the silage front. It would be really helpful if the Navarro mouse was a bit less fussy with how it picks up the silage. The 8 or that's the 7 hours finished work. What was the 7 hour thing? Oh, it was it was seeding this field. Stop the driver, get rid of the course. We'll just leave the 7 hour there. We need to get back to the Navarro mouse and get it fussing about more silage. I really dislike how fussy this is with how it picks stuff up. Like, that should be picking up silage, but it's not. But maybe if I raise this, it'll pick some up. Nope. But now it is. And I don't know... Now it's not. Now it is. That's not... It's really kind of weird and fussy how it picks the silage up, and I'm not sure what the actual mechanic behind it is. Maybe it's because I'm rubbing against the wall, actually. It's gonna be weird playing an American map for a while and the Noxus map going over to Ireland. Yeah. But it's gonna be it's gonna make things fun because it's always fun to change playstyles up. That's why you see me doing weird things like the Insanity Challenge and stuff, is because I'm bored of how I'm playing the game and I want to do things differently. So I'm using big equipment here and tiny equipment on Insanities. It gives me new and interesting things to do. Wonder if I hit this, like, got this right down, would it pick up more silage, or would more open be better? I mean, we are definitely loading silage. It's just that I don't know how this thing actually works correctly. I don't know the triggers of it. Like Dusty's new map, that looks really good actually. I hope it's I hope it plays as good as it looks. Okay, now it's like magically picking silage up even though it's not touching anything. Now it's touching the silage and not picking it up. I don't understand this machine. I like it, but I don't understand it. Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe it's because it was on the wall again. I mean, the upside to this is you can just stretch it right out like this and have almost the entire pit as just a loading area. Thought Dusty wasn't making any more maps. No, Dusty was working on Bessie Beneath for a while. What he said was he wasn't going to do any more converts for FS17. I think... Do I own that rope? Yes! I think honestly, I don't know if he's still here, maybe giving up on Pentonman for FS19 might be an idea, and maybe starting it over might be an idea. Because I get the feeling it's going to be a lot easier to just start a map from scratch than it is going to be to convert one. Would I join fields 32, 33, and 34 together so I get a bigger crop? No, because this way I can have 3 different crops in the fields. I don't like having mega big fields. I don't like having, like, huge humongous fields. I could definitely do that, Ibble, but it's not something that I feel like I need to do. Especially seeing as the crop storage on the map is only 100,000 liters. As things stand. I could tweak that up to like 200,000, but I think 100,000 is fine. Personally. Courseplay wouldn't be good at joining up either. Yeah, that'd be a secondary problem. And I'd have to rescan all the fields once I join it all up to make one course for all 3 fields, which would make even more problems. But I could do that. I could. I'm just not going to. I've forgotten where I stopped doing this. Oh, this field's nearly done. There's only like a small bit of this field, which I can see by looking at the soil composition. It has been missed. Roberto McFarlane, thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to the RainbowDave Madhouse. Hope you enjoy your stay. So I should be headed directly for the bit that isn't fertilized currently. And there it is. Does Courseplay recognize fields being joined? Yes, if you manually detect the edges. If you don't manually detect the edges, then no, it won't. Do I play train sims? No, I play farm sim, flight sim, and iRacing. Although I may have to give up iRacing soon, for financial reasons. And if it's 19, you hope there's more space for mods. I'm guessing even on console, Adam. If anything, I think there might be a bit less space. Like the minimap with soil comps showing. It is super useful, the better minimap mod, now that you can hide it. It is super, super useful. Because I don't need to be faffing about going to the escape menu constantly and messing about with that stuff. I can just open this up with the soil comp showing and have it on the minimap. Hello, KS Vlogs and Games. So let's move the stuff out of field 44 because I want to fertilize that as well. Oh, there's no slots. There will be, Evil. That's a console limitation. That's a thing from Sony and Microsoft directly, so that there will still be slots and stuff, unfortunately. It's also why, annoyingly, and much to my annoyance, for sure, there probably won't be conventional bales in FS19. Because it was brought to my attention that with the console limitation on the number of bales, conventionals would cause a lot of headaches. so they're probably not going to be in the game. I hope Hestons are, and I hope to see some good conventional baler mods fairly quickly in FS19. But yeah, odds are there won't be any conventional bales. How am I? I'm doing good. Thank you very much for asking, Cass. What time is it? 1:45. Landy will be starting soon, probably. So let me know when he goes live. He should be streaming today. I'll hand over to him when I'm done. You're more than welcome to join the Discord if you are new or if you haven't joined that yet. We usually have a chat in there. Why is there a bale limit? Because of memory limitations on console. Did I go to FarmCon? No, I went to go-karting instead. Actually, this weekend was really weird because instead of like going to FarmCon, because I did apply to go, I did all the stuff to potentially go, and I just wasn't picked, and that's fine. But instead of going to FarmCon, I actually missed almost all the FarmCon coverage because I was doing stuff with my family instead. Coincidentally, my family had come up with, or my sister, or I need to get the story straight. My dad's birthday was on Saturday, and we were doing stuff for his birthday all weekend. So even though I didn't go to FarmCon, I wasn't just left hanging all weekend with nothing to do. I was like, after the stream Saturday, you guys know, I actually had to run and get changed to go out for dinner. And then on Sunday, I was back in time to stream, but I was so bloody tired that it just wasn't worth it for me. It wouldn't have been a very good stream. On Sunday we went go-karting and we went out for dinner again. And that was really fun. I will say, next month, towards the end of next month, I will be taking at least one day off. That I want to say I don't necessarily need to, but I'm going to take at least one day off because when we were out having dinner, I said, it's my birthday next month, hint hint, can we go again? And yeah, the plan is I'm going to be going karting again next month for my birthday. So there's going to be one day where there's like a missing stream because I'll be off doing my birthday things. A new screenshot mode, yes it does, Drum Rover. And if you're using shaders, I'm going to just stop for a second. If you're using shaders, it looks something like this. I call it Nuclear Holocaust mode. Because it does not look good with shaders. It looks good with the default game, but if you use shaders, it turns everything into the Nuclear Holocaust. What day is my birthday? The 24th. Plus, I think the game just plain looks better with shaders, especially if you turn them on full. Just looks good. Michaela Square Bale Wrapper is nice. I have not had a chance to use that yet, but it does look very nice. I think I've got a good idea of how it works, and it does look very, very nice indeed. It's something that I'll probably end up using on Lone Oak when I can afford a square baler. And that square baler will probably be the D1000. I'm hoping, I need to test if the D1000 bales will work with the 998 wrapper. Or an Oxy's new map? Yes, an Oxy's new map, it'll look fantastic. It'll be like perfect. You're not a fan of shaders on Lone Oak? Interesting. I'm not getting rid of the shaders anytime soon. I really think the game looks better with them, especially if you've got the camera at a jaunty angle, because it just... I don't know, it gives a bit of a more realistic feel, I think. You got someone on changing that? Yeah, I might retexture the wrap myself to be black. That wouldn't be the worst idea in the world, simulator gaming. Wouldn't be the hardest thing in the world to do. To just retexture the wrap, seeing as matte, basically a matte texture. You don't like the white wrap either? Yeah, I might open it up in Photoshop later on tonight and just retexture the wrap to be black. After playing this for a while, you got bored. See, I'm still loving this map. I think it's because I like American maps. I don't usually play them because too many of them are just bland. But if there's a good American map, a good, interesting American map, I will play the crap out of it. And this is a good American map. This is supposed to be the EDM playlist, by the way. I'm not complaining about the metalcore, but this is supposed to be the EDM playlist. Quite happy about metalcore, actually. NFD's maps? Or NLD's maps? Yes! They're amazing maps. They're really good American maps. I actually recommended those to a Shadowbox because he was looking for... What the hell just happened? He was looking for American maps, and yeah, NLD Map Farmer is a really good place to go for American maps. If you go to the website, you'll find quite a lot of good American equipment. See me there? Find a lot of good American equipment too on their website. I think it's... If you Google NLD Farmers, you'll find the website fairly easily. And we are making, just raking the money in on Lone Oak now. Like, we can afford another field already, but I think we're gonna hold off. And I think we're gonna buy, to not go on the roof of the BGA, or on the roof of the shop, I think we're probably gonna buy a 9RT. Or maybe, if not the 9RT, the 8520. Oh, we can afford the 8520. Do we get the 8520? Yeah, let's get an 8520. Hopefully bale wrap looks nice in FS19. Hopefully, I mean... It's going to be impossible to know until the game comes out, but hopefully. Well, so we now have a lovely brand new 8520 that's not on the roof of the shop. I'm just going to store the 8-ore over here for the time being. And we'll hop into the 8520. Which is a bit of a frame hog because there's two of them in this area, but... I think this could be kind of fun with the slurry spreader on the back. Is it ready to get black instead of a white slided sheet? Yes! You retexture it. Is the back wrong? I've heard not. I've heard like this is actually like what an 8520 looks like. It looks wonky, yes, but this is apparently what it looks like. Let's turn on nuclear attack mode again. Boom. I mean, I will admit, it looks really nice when you're just looking like this. It looks really cool. But it is like the sun is exploding. Like, it does kind of look like the sun has just exploded. Hey, James D. And that's why I don't use screenshot mode. Even when I'm taking screenshots, because it just makes the game really washed out and horrible. Although I need to have a word with Mr. Simulate. I'll probably send him a message on Facebook. Because I want to figure out how to change something back to the way that it worked in a different version of these shaders. Because I was sending him a video for something. I'm not going to say what. I sent him a link to a video for something, and it was with the older version of the shaders, and he was very impressed with it. So I want to figure out how to change that one thing back to the way that it was. Because then I think these shaders would be near perfect. Do you want tomorrow's stream like that? No. It would look horrific. It would actually give me a headache if I were to do an entire stream like this. Or like that. At least I'm using interesting equipment. And this is, you gotta admit, an interesting equipment combination. Brand new tractor with black smoke. It means it's got poke. It's fine. See you, Model Farmer. We'll be on Insanity tomorrow, guys. Just FYI. Landy's... Oh, yeah, Landy's streaming Ski Region. I actually want to watch that. Because I've not seen Ski Region Simulator in years. Never played it, but I've not seen anybody play it actually properly. Nothing wrong with a bit of reek. Exactly. It's fine. It just means the tractor's working. It's maybe not the best tractor to be spreading slurry with, but still. Is he alive? Is Landy alive? Because I can end the stream if he is. Because like I said, I want to watch that stream. Or at least have it on in the background while I do some more practice in iRacing. He's not yet? Okay, let me know when he is. Please. Because like I said, I do want to watch that stream. It's a game that interests me. And if I had the money, I'd probably buy it. But I like Seasons. Yes, I love Seasons mod. I think it's really interesting and adds a new dimension to the game. The only reason that I don't use it generally is it does slow things down a lot. And I have found over time that people don't enjoy watching Seasons series for all that long. It has to be something different for it to really work well in Seasons. And for people to be interested in watching it. I do have some interesting ideas. I've been saying this for like a week now. I need to work on the script. I haven't done any scripting at all. I need to work on a script for a new roleplay series that is going to be across a lot of different things. It's going to be something I've never tried before and something maybe you guys have never even seen before. Which if you guys haven't seen it before or anything like it, then that is pretty much what I want to be doing right now. Tractor has grown tracks. Yes, it has. I've actually bought the 8520T. So in a rare move, I'm using an actual tractor that's not a Challenger. Is that the one with multiple games? Yes. It's my favorite tractor in 17. Massey 135, or Matt's T-Dubs, or Matt's DLC. It's very difficult to choose between all of those. Although Peter J forgot to mention this. Peter J has been teasing a new mod as well. 135 plus 13 plus 240. Which, if you do the maths, is hinting, I don't know if it's actually going to be one, is hinting at a Massey Ferguson 388. Which would be a very interesting tractor to get in game indeed. We go well beside his Massey pack, which has the 399. Which slightly confused that they thought was a 388. I'm gonna need to move the forklift probably. Let's see how this deals with the forklift. Don't need to move the forklift! I am gonna need to move the forklift because now it's on its side and that's not good. A 245? No, the math says it's 388. If you add all three numbers together, which is what the picture kind of hints at, is you're supposed to add them. 135 and 13 at 240 is 388. So maybe, just maybe, we'll see a 388 from Peter J soon. If Landy's not live yet, tough luck, I'm going to finish the stream because I just realised it is gone after 7 o'clock and I've got a bunch of stuff that I want to do later tonight. Including actually getting the grazing mod into the West Coast, getting scripting done for that series, and getting a lot of other stuff done in the meantime. Have I pre-ordered FS19? Not yet, no. I can't afford it. I got a letter from a bank this morning saying I'm overdrawn, so I'm very broke. But that is going to do it for today's stream, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, stay safe. And goodbye.